Well, we don't have a ton of time together today, but I really want to thank everybody for joining us. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to spend with RJT and SAC. As I looked over the list of attendees, I did notice a number of individuals that I've worked with in the past, and certainly appreciate your continued support and your attendance today. So with that, what I'd like to do is spend a little bit of time talking about some of the challenges that all of us are dealing with when it comes to data and uncertainty in the marketplace. And I've titled this presentation, Taming the Data Dragon. So if I flip to my next slide here, now let's describe this, the environment, or as I'm calling it, the dragon. Today there is a massive amount of data, and structured and unstructured, generated both internally and externally. And so we're calling that the tsunami, the effect that's happening nowadays. The second thing is there's an There's an ever-increasing appetite for information and insight driven by advances in consumer technology and the speed of change, frankly, in the marketplace. And then the third, there's increasing complexity in the market, and this is really being driven by two things. One is increased regulation and the influence of global competition. And it's interesting, organizations, regardless of whether you're importing products or whether you're a healthcare organization, are feeling these sorts of impacts. For example, external to the United States, there's all kinds of things that are happening around healthcare that are changing some of the cost dynamics and those sorts of things, where you would think an industry like that is completely insulated potentially from these sorts of issues, but that's really not the case. So how do we understand this problem of uncertainty and data explosion that's out there today? And really, we have to start understanding this based on three basic principles that are taking place in the market. Those are Moore's Law, network effects, and disruption. So what does this data explosion look like? There are a number of projections that are out there. Those projections are based on the amount of information that's being produced within organizations, also the amount of information that's being produced on the public internet and through social networking services. And as you look forward into the future, what you see is exponential growth of information, and a real challenge for every organization to figure out how to best deal with those challenges and figure out how to best consume that information, ignore the things that are not important to them, but focus closely on those things that are influencing their business, and do that in almost a real-time way. And as you look at this particular graph, you can see that the projections for structured data are growing at a very rapid rate. So when you start to think about where this data is coming from, it's coming from things like social networking, which is very structured in terms of the data that's produced. Mobile transactions and applications are creating a massive amount of structured data, web analytics, et cetera, and information that can drive our understanding of marketplaces. Up to this point, there has been a significant amount of unstructured data that's companies have been grappling with in the form of Word documents, PowerPoints, and other types of files, PDFs, et cetera. But you can see moving forward that unstructured data is going to be leveling off, where structured data is expanding at an exponential rate. So what's causing some of this? Well, you've got network effects, which very simply state that in the case of a telephone, if there's only one other telephone user in the market, the value of that network is pretty limited. But each time I add an additional user to the network, the value of that network increases rapidly. And so the bottom line here is that network effects allow for an organization to deliver value based on the size of their community, or the people, customers, et cetera, partners that they are interacting with. and they also create barriers for new market entrants. Good examples of this today are organizations like Facebook that has recently passed the 500 million user mark. It's going to be very difficult for any other company to be able to really challenge them, just given the value that's created by that network, and how much work has already gone into that. It's going to be difficult for other organizations to be able to create that same sort of scale in the same amount of time that they have. The next concept here is around Moore's Law. And Moore's Law is, we might be able to see the end of it, but this and other concepts really help us to understand that there's a great increase in the capacity, both from a storage perspective, computing power, and many other ways that allow for this rapid increase in the amount of information and the rapid increase of our ability to consume that information. Moore's Law and other similar concepts really increase the probability of disruption in every marketplace, and it also enables solutions in the future that are really not possible today. And then finally, there's the laws of disruption, which in a very simple way of describing this is, the way to think about this is there are two types of innovation or changes that occur in markets. One is disruptive innovations, and the other are sustaining innovations. And the bottom line here is that disruption occurs when innovation and features provided to the market overshoot the needs of the common user. Sustaining innovation happens if the users continue to expand their appetite and their need for innovation beyond what's currently available. And so you see these dynamics play out throughout the marketplace. And so what does a potential solution look like if you take some of these ideas or concepts into account? First is you've got to make sure that as you go out and address the problems of big data, data explosion, collaboration, these sorts of things, you want to make sure that you're using the appropriate strategy to make decisions, because it's very easy to make decisions based on the amount of information that you're generating internally and miss out potentially on things that are happening outside your organization. And sometimes it's difficult to see the forest for the trees, just given the amount of information that's out there. So having the appropriate perspective and strategy allows you to save a lot of time and eliminate wasted effort. The second thing is, over the last several years, there's been significant change in the enterprise software market, significant integration and M&A activity. And the reason why this is taking place is because companies have realized that it's more expensive to integrate solutions than it is to get a new feature. And so a few years ago, Newsweek pronounced really the end of best of breed, because organizations really realized this fact that it was very easy, if you just focused on features and functionality, to create silos within an organization and make it very difficult to collaborate across that organization. And then finally, as you think about partnering, coming up with solutions, et cetera, it's important to have a good understanding of the breadth of those solutions that are available, so that you know that you're able to address compliance needs, address risk mitigation, and also be able to anticipate future needs for the organization. So anytime that you're addressing concerns around data, insight, strategy, what we find is this is a iterative process. It's something that an organization goes through a learning curve or learning process. And so as you develop a solution, the organization adapts to what has been given to them, increases their capabilities and then needs additional capabilities moving forward. And so you want to make sure that as you make commitments that you are committing to organizations that can help you through this entire life cycle. So just to highlight the importance of having good theory as you go out and solve some of these challenges, I've put 3 quotes up here. The first is around collaboration, and I think that this insight is key as we go out and start to implement collaboration systems. Collaboration is more than just being able to share information. It's really about helping the organization to learn and to grow based on insights that they've achieved in the past or insights that they find out about the marketplace that they're currently working in. And really there are 2 keys to effective collaboration. One, organizations will increase participation, shorten time to decisions, and achieve a greater consensus if they allow for 2 things. One, anonymity for their users, and if they require users to read and grade other users' contributions before making their own contributions. And I'd be happy to share this research with anybody that's attending this, but it's really a striking insight about collaboration and what it takes to really make that successful in an organization. The second insight here is around disruption. Market share analysis and understanding how you're moving in the marketplace versus your competitors